Hey, what's up? This is Brian Pfeiffer, the owner of Surreal, Nightlife.com. I'm standing here, guys, in front of the, on the back of the Caesars Palace, I guess. And this is the old Caesars Palace parking garage for the locals. This is the top level. It's usually a pretty good spot to park because it's quick in and out over here. But this video is going to be all about why is bottle service so expensive in Las Vegas? Obviously, we're dealing with some tough times in the economy right now. Rumors are circulating about clubs closing. We know that Dre's and Dre's Beach are gone in a couple months or a month and a half here or so. And, there's going to be some other clubs that are probably going to close as well, unfortunately. And we're going to be trimmed down to the ones that are the survivors, if you will, and what I would consider somewhat of a recession out here in Las Vegas. Maybe not the whole country's in a recession, but this place is definitely in somewhat of a recession. So let's talk about bottle service and why it is so expensive, because I get that question a lot. I'm actually part owner of a nightclub. I do big events in Chicago. I'm a 2% shareholder in a club in Chicago called Prism, so I know all about the numbers. I was a promotion manager directly for one of these big clubs and pools for a year, so I sat in a lot of the meetings. I know the numbers, etc. So, how does it work, okay? What happens is the clubs, have multiple ways of making money. One of them is through the cover charge, okay? They charge like a cover at the door. Another is through like ticket sales, okay? And then another way to drive revenue is going to be at the bar, your bar sales. And then, of course, you have your bottle service, okay? So they take all that revenue and combine it up, and that's your total. And then out of that total, okay, they have to pay their rent for the entire month. They also have to pay their insurance, which is expensive these days, for the entire month, okay? And then they have to pay the staff. You have your security, okay? Bartenders, the hosts all get paid money off. Most of them get salaries plus commission. There's promoters. There's a ton of money that comes out of the total. Okay. So, and then of course they got the big DJ expenses. All right. We all know about the cost of talent these days, and the way it works out here, okay, in Las Vegas, is that in order to draw like a big crowd, you have to pay a DJ that sells tickets and draws bottle service customers. Okay. So these big artists, like let me name a few, like Tiesto, John Summit's a big one nowadays, Dom Dalla, Zed. I think Zed's here tonight at Omnia. That's what I'm here for, actually. And then you have guys like, Fisher, Martin Garrix, all the big hitters. Okay, there's probably like the top 20. I'll probably do a video at some point about the top 20 draw DJs in Las Vegas, or maybe even top 10 or whatever. But they all cost a lot of money. All right. So here's the deal. These Vegas clubs, in order to fill them, a lot of these are big clubs. Some of them have capacities of up to 5,000 people they could do in a night at like an Omnia, okay? In order to fill these places, you need to have a big DJ, okay? Sometimes, a place like Omnia is kind of a unicorn out here. This place, even without a big DJ, could be pretty packed, okay? But a lot of the other clubs like XS, for example, or Zouk, for example, or Hakkasan, for example, also big clubs, and they don't fill them pretty good. They don't fill them very good when they don't have a big DJ, okay? And these big DJs, okay, they have these extensive contracts that last for like typically 3 years out here. Most of the big DJs get a 3-year deal out here with most of these venues. You have the Tao group competing with the Wynn Nightlife group. You have the Zouk group, and then you have the Live and Live Beach group. And they all compete against each other to get the talent, okay? But next year, I think MGM Nightlife is going to be a player in that as well. So now you're going to have 5 people, bidding on these DJs and whatnot, okay? So here's the deal. These DJs, okay, also have major gigs all around the world, okay, especially in the summer months. They're going to be in Ibiza, or they're going to be in Korea, or they're going to be in Japan, who knows? But these guys, fill up stadiums and fill up festivals that have hundreds of thousands of people, okay? So they're able to go and do a gig in, whatever country, in Europe, for example, and maybe Ibiza, and they get like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a show, okay? Or they do a festival in LA or a festival in Houston and they get that much, okay? So these guys are getting that much, and in order for these clubs out here to, get them out here, especially on a regular basis, they have to sign these ridiculous DJ contracts, and then they have these huge expenses, okay? So these clubs have this big nut to cover every time they have this big DJ. And see, what's happening right now is, these clubs are basically getting kind of destroyed, okay? On some nights, they actually do make money. Okay, they might have like a $400,000 DJ expense, let's just say, for Martin Garrix or Zed tonight at Caesars. I'm not sure what his contract is, but I'm guessing it's probably between $300,000 and $400,000 a show. Okay, that's negative $400,000 to start the night. Okay, then you got to add in your security, you got to add in your insurance, you got to add in your rent, you got to add in your staff, and you got to add in your alcohol, which is typically roughly 20% of what the revenue is. Okay, so in order for this place to turn a profit, okay, they probably have to bring in at least like $600 to $650,000, okay, in revenue. And that's, you know, from the ticket sales, the bar sales, the cover charges, the bottle service, everything, okay? That's a big nut. And if they don't hit that number, okay, they're going to be negative, okay? And then they're like losing money on the event, okay? And that's no good, okay? Nobody's in business to lose money. And then what happens is if they end up losing money on the event, and then they have other days when they don't have a big DJ and they don't make money on those days, the company becomes not profitable, okay? And at some point, these, you know, companies aren't just going to go out of business like Dre's and Dre's Beach just did, okay? They basically backed themselves into a corner over there where, you know, they have a, you know, I guess for lack of a better word, like a, you know, I don't know how to nicely say it, but the clientele doesn't have the money these days, okay? Let's just say that. And, you know, they got these big artists, and these guys want ridiculous, you know, amounts of money, $100,000, $150,000 a show, plus their riders, plus private jets, plus their whole crew. And it adds up, okay? This place is like the minimums are $4,000 dance floor on a DJ or an artist that costs $150,000. There's no way they're making money, okay? It's just not possible. All right, so that's why they're going out of business. And that's going to happen to more clubs out here, too. I'm pretty sure Zook and IU is struggling, okay? I know IU is. I don't know about Zook, but I'm pretty sure it is. I think Tao Group loses money on some nights and some days, okay? So, you know, that's just what's going on. That's one of the reasons why the bottle service is so expensive, right? Because in order to cover these huge DJ expenses and overhead expenses, we have to charge a lot, okay? So it's kind of the tale of two economies. Vegas Starfish said it the best the other day. I was listening to one of her, you know, TikToks, and she said, you know, it is a tale of two economies. You know, some of the clubs like Omnia that cater to the high-end clientele, they're still doing just fine because the high-end clientele, the top 10, 15, 20% of people out there that have a lot of money, they have plenty of money. They got assets. They got real estate still high. They got stock markets at all-time high. They're still killing it. Okay, they're doing just fine. But everybody else, the other 80%, especially the lower 50%, they don't have any money. Okay, so you know these clubs are giving like serious incentives. I'm going to be shooting a video after this on bottle packages, and I'm going to be shooting a video on open bars. They're giving serious incentives just to get people in the door. Okay, that's because it's tough. And what happens is if you get guys that do have money in there buying tables, buying bottle service, expensive bottle service, and the club's empty, these guys don't spend any money because it sucks, okay? So you got to fill the place with girls and you got to fill the place with a crowd. Otherwise, these guys won't spend money. So it's kind of like a catch-22 right now. And so, you know, that hopefully answers all your questions about why is bottle service so expensive. You know, bottle prices, you know, they got kind of at a peak. You know, there's still some places that are charging $900 for a bottle out here. But some of the clubs have actually lowered their bottle pricing a little bit. I know Dre's, you know, they lowered their pricing, but now they're going out of business. And then, you know, like Marquee lowered their pricing, Tao lowered their pricing. Some of the bigger clubs like Omnia really hasn't lowered their pricing. They don't really need to. They're still killing it. Hakkasan has some lower price bottles on the menu. But, you know, they're just basically, you know, trying to get people in the door and still spend that money on the bottle service because they're not making money at these clubs. All right. So it's a difficult situation right now. All right, so if you guys have any questions about bottle service and you're interested in getting a table, I'm here to help. My number is 773-459-8133. After this video, I'm actually going to shoot a video about open bars in Vegas. I'm going to shoot a video about bottle packages in Vegas and some of the deals that we do have going out here. If you guys want to, you know, get a little bit of a discount, if you will, on some bottle service. Actually, pretty much available at all the clubs nowadays, even Omnia in some of the, not in the main room, but the other rooms. So hit me up. I'm available on my cell phone anytime for a question, and I'm looking forward to working with you and helping plan your Las Vegas trip. We do everything from packages to you know, nightclubs, strip clubs, men's shows, all the activities around town. We do everything out here in Las Vegas. We have tons of packages in our packages system. I do have a whole article below on why bottle service is so expensive, so go ahead and take a look at that article. That'll answer all your questions. And make sure you hit me up. And I'm looking forward to working with you. Like my content, I would appreciate a like on the video. Do subscribe to this channel for more, and bang that notifications bell. I'm Brian Pfeiffer. Looking forward to planning your Las Vegas trip. Signing out here from the Caesars Palace. Let's talk soon. Goodbye.